running back in the
I
league.
hate the Steelers.
Yeah, and he had a line that helped his style of running because Le'Veon Bell was so patient. He just stood back there and waited for one little hole to walk, and
So
he could do that with the line he had.
This goes back to it's not the players that Ben had, it's that the players had Ben. I mean, and any franchise quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, Eli Manning, and I don't even know who to look to for a franchise quarterback in Cleveland until you look back at Bernie Kosar. You look at that, he changes the entire complexion of your organization. That's why you signed to a $500 million.
I do think there's players that they need, like Baker Mayfield. If the Browns do have success, if he bounces back, I think more of it will have to do with what Baker Mayfield has around him than Baker Mayfield himself.
We're gonna get to the nitty gritty of this, and then we're gonna take a break. Okay. Scotty, you have $500,000 in the bank. You have to make a bet on a franchise quarterback. Is Baker Mayfield your franchise quarterback? All $500,000 right on this.
500. Well, first.
Nope. It's a yes or no question. It's a would you?
Money.
It's your money. You get it doubled, and you get a nice, cool $1 million, or you lose everything. Is Baker Mayfield your franchise quarterback? Yes or no? Given your sample size, given your sophomore slump, given your great backup rookie of the year championship, whatever the hell you want to call it.
I would say yes. I would bet
say I would
the
have put $500,000 of my money on any quarterback to be the franchise.
If you had to, is he your quarterback?
I like Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
I think he'll bounce back.
I think we should keep him there for the
that's
5
my
years
whole
regardless.
point, DJ.
Can I write this down so that way at the end of the
Everybody-
football season I can come back and say, hey,
you could, but that's my point. Is everybody always looks at what happened most recently, but it's like, okay, did he just forget how to? Like, you're gonna throw that rookie season out the window just because you argue teams have more film on them.
Yes.
But he can make another adjustment too and bounce back and be even better.
So you're going to say that
He should
Baker
have made that
Mayfield,
adjustment in week 7.
yeah, he could have done a lot last year to
I
adjust.
think a lot of it was they
Freddie
had
Kitchens.
the worst coach in the
Oh,
league.
here we
by
go.
far.
Well, Baker also had the worst mental strength in the league.
Yeah, he was not mentally tough.
He wasn't, but none
he's
of
a tough
them
kid, he'll bounce back.
because
He's a
because
tough kid. He'll bounce back.
the media built him up and said they were gonna go to the Super Bowl.
The media?
Yeah.
The media. Where
He
does
built himself up.
we
man.
talk about this
And
all the
so this-
time? Stop blaming the media. You want to blame the media for this and that and the other. Let's take a look in the mirror, okay? You just said that you would put $500,000 that's your guy. Do you think anybody in the media would ever be like, yep. No. They don't do that. Because what they do is they look at things objectively, for the most part, right? Sometimes, and a lot of times, they get things wrong, just like we do. But I would say this. If they looked at it, they're not saying, man, that Baker Mayfield had one hell of a rookie year. You know what they're looking at? They're looking at stats. They're looking at black and white numbers. They're going to look at how many times he almost threw an interception, how many times he didn't win that game, the record at the end of the season when they did have a good defense, and then they're going to go, this dude just didn't put up enough numbers. He didn't put up enough numbers, especially in his sophomore campaign. So when you look at this, black and white, Baker Mayfield, now, listen, I can jump on that bandwagon too, because Ben Roethlisberger had a pretty good rookie year. Pretty good. 15-1. Pretty good rookie year. But I also knew that there was a fall-off point. Because when you get tape on somebody, you figure out their tendencies. You figure out what they like to do, what they don't like to do, what you have to force them to do.
But the franchise QBs, I think like a guy like Roethlisberger has overcome that, and I think Mayfield will too. Because the franchise QBs, they might go through periods I mean, everybody has bad games,
But they don't have bad years. Roethlisberger's never gone under 8 wins, ever. Mahomes will never go under 8 wins. Brady will never go under 8 wins. Just won't happen.
But so if the Browns win 12 games this year and get to the divisional round or the
You just got Dave excited, by the way.
He's like, whoa.
Just say hypothetically
Okay.
they did that.
I'm on board.
You're gonna say, oh well, Baker lost 10 games. Like you're gonna totally
How many games you playing?
forget about that.
Here's the thing: if Baker does that, then he'll regain some credibility. So, but that's not the argument right now. Right now, all we have to go on is what he did last year.
You know what the
You're speaking on what ifs.
yeah. So I guess the I don't even know what the theory is for every one bad year you have to have 2 good ones, right? So would you say that Baker's rookie year was a success?
I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he just had a bad year. So he needs another good year to even things out. To get someone to write about him and say, okay, this guy's legit. But the problem he's going to face, and I'll tell you this quite honestly.
Division.
Well, it's the division, but Pat Mahomes. When you're in that shadow, my friend, there's not a whole lot you can do. And oh, by the way,
No,
he can't win.
I'm not saying
He's not going to win comeback player of the year because he wasn't out. That'll be up to, I'm guessing, and I'm just being a homer here, that's probably going to be Ben Roethlisberger if all things considered, right?
not if he plays like he did.
No, it says he's one of the
first-
players that's going to be a front runner for comeback player of the year. That's all details.
And what do you-
He's gonna be Mariota.
Okay, he was benched. He wasn't hurt. Does
Yeah,
that
I
count?
think there's a difference. I don't know what goes into that, but I guess. I mean, Kurt Warner was packing giant eagle bags or something.
But we can't defend Baker at this point. But I believe next year this conversation is gonna be a lot different. I have
And
a
in
lot
what
of faith
way?
in this kid. He's tough. He's gonna make the adjustments.
Tough how?
But yeah, if he,
And I like the way he forced the ball into a lot of places he shouldn't have this year. But Kitchens didn't give him
Just like Big Ben.
let me ask you something.
Versus
His toughness.
things where they.
What?
Oh, wow. You're going to go there, Cheesecake?
What did Baker do this year to tell you that he's mentally tough enough to bounce back from?
When he grabbed his nuts in the college game, he proved that he was a tough kid.
He proved that he was an
Well, yeah,
idiot.
He kept continuously put his foot in his mouth in the media last year.
I just think Baker Mayfield's a good quarterback.
And in his defense, he
I'm just
can't-
going to throw this out there. We
he
have
said
one
the
guy on
NFL
Facebook right now, and I think it's me because we've talked about Baker
He lost
Mayfield
it.
for so long.
But
Yeah, I was
listen,
done with
what's
Baker.
up.
he said the league has humbled him.
Oh, well, okay.
It was a humbling
Okay.
Experience.
All right. We're going to take a break. We're not going to talk about Baker Mayfield anymore. We actually, believe it all, that started with who has the best chance to complete a season, and we never got through it. Scotty, who's got the best chance to complete a season?
Oh, I
He
told
said-
you.
If you say
NFL.
Baker Mayfield,
He said
NFL, okay.
basketball. Oh, he said basketball, NFL. I'm gonna say hockey just because I think it's in the same bubble aspect as the basketball, but it doesn't have the personality.
He's a
to go
cold
to-
guy. Kills
They're
the
not gonna
Bears
go.
as well.
They're not gonna go chasing wings in the NHL.
All right, we'll be back with more.
What
We're gonna-
about you, DJ?
Oh, we got to take a break, Scott. We got to pay
All
bills.
right,
I'll be
all right.
back.
They say American craftsmanship is making a comeback. Of course, at Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, it never went away.
People are floored by Baird Brothers' authentic hardwood floors. They stare at our stairs and adore our doors. Baird Brothers reflects 3 generations of family craftsmanship. Visit our huge in-stock selection in person or at bairdbrothers.com.
Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is here, so it's all hands on deck to make sure your plans still meet your needs for 2020.
Call us today.
Hey, my Ohio friends, it's Mike Ditka, and I know great talent and heart when I see it. I can tell you from firsthand experience, there are average real estate agents, then there are true champions. Kelly Warren is one of those champions, and you have it right there in your own backyard. Kelly outmarkets and outsells every agent in the Mahoning Valley. If Kelly can't sell your home at a price and deadline you agree to, Kelly will buy it. Get your home sold. Call Kelly Warren today at 717-2689 or go online to kellysold.com and start packing.
You can feel it. Baird Brothers' traditional craftsmanship. You can see it. Baird Brothers' timeless style. And you can afford it. And find everything at BairdBrothers.com. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is real hardwood, yet beautifully affordable. Floors, moldings, interior doors, bar rails, and stair parts. All within your means and without a care. Start at BairdBrothers.com. You have made it. Your home.
Teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Running Point on YSN. DJ Yoakley with you. On the other side of the table, Dave O'Malley, and you have their couple legends here of YSN, and we want to apologize for talking about Baker Mayfield at length. We will never ever do it again. It was a tangent. We get on those a lot. Like, the passion just oozes out, and especially when you got somebody that is just obsessed with the Browns, like Mr. Scotty Mincher across from me. It happens. And you apologize, and I said, you don't have to apologize. Listen, if people can tune in or not, I don't care at this point. It's one of those things where you love the takes, you don't. There's a lot of things people are doing while they're watching us. They're not going to watch for 3 hours. We know that.
Could have been the Ben Roethlisberger portion of that conversation.
I would beg to differ, but I
Definitely
digress.
wasn't the Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, of course it wasn't Patrick, because everybody wants to hear more about Patrick Mahomes. All right, let's talk about this. Ohio State, guys, 20% capacity. It sounds like they want to play some football. They're going to have 20% capacity, which is about 21,000 in their stadium. Then you have masks and no tailgates. So there's basically it's the NFL, where it's the no fun league at Ohio State. Couple questions: who gets in to that 21,000? And number two, is it worth it? Dave, we'll start with you.
Wow! First of all, the 20,000 tickets. What a ticket! High-ranking alum. But how are you going to keep out 80-some thousand people and then not let them tailgate as well?
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of home parties.
Yeah.
But,
There's a lot of pregame.
Most important thing, I want the Buckeyes to play bad because they are loaded this year.
They are loaded. They are absolutely loaded. Scotty, your thoughts on what Ohio State's doing?
Yeah, I just think as far as the 20%, or it would be to about 21,000 fans. So that's pretty much like an NBA game, like the Cavaliers with their stadium holds, or what I think Quinn said, YSU, like if YSU sold out, that's what they hold. But it's one of those things like I want to see fans be able to go to the game, DJ, but like who the heck does get that priority? Like, is it just going to be the season ticket holders?
That's a good question.
And that's it. Like, I just don't know. And then, is it going to be, like, are they going to really enforce the social distancing and things of that nature?
Well, with 20% capacity, you can spread out all over. That's you think it'd be a little easier to spot with a naked eye.
In line of the concessions right next to each other.
Oh yeah, nuts to butts. That's what you're looking at always, especially when it's cold.
And that's my point. You could easily do the distancing, but there's always gonna be people, right up on somebody else. I like me personally, DJ. Like I love going to games and just love everything there is about being a fan, but I think they should just play in front of empty stadiums this year, to be honest. I mean, I know it would be.
I know it's smart, but it just hurts to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nobody wants to hear that part.
Yeah, and especially it's one thing baseball, DJ, but football, baseball more so in the playoffs. That's when you really feel the crowd and the roar, because there's so many games. Like it just doesn't have the same magic as football does with the sold out stadium for these, and the games just mean more. That's why it hurts so bad, DJ, thinking of no fans in the stands for football, but I think it's the smartest thing to do.
Twiggy.
I really do.
Yeah, it's hard because we talked about it. College football needs the revenue to help out their whole athletic programs from football. Getting that without fans is going to be really tough. But at the same time, like Scotty said, it might be the smartest thing to do just to take out that variable and not let fans in. It's a conundrum, and I think Ohio State is just kind of putting out this plan so, like you said in the Power Hour, if someone comes out and pulls out the rug, Ohio State can say, "Hey, we had a plan. It's all good."
You got me. I was gonna throw that back out.
I'm interested to see what the Big Ten says about this, because all the other schools have to either be okay with it and be okay with the fact that the Ohio State Buckeyes are gonna let people in, and do the same thing, and because that's why they're doing conference only. So the Big Ten can have ultimate control over what each team does.
It'll be. I think from that standpoint, the other team won't have a say because the fans will be so far away that it's not going to – I mean, you're going to have advertisements, which is another thing I'm a little bit peeved about, but I'm an advertising guy, so I understand it. But you're going to see advertisements in the first 6 rows of NFL stadiums. I got to believe college football is going to be the same way because that's high real estate, high-end real estate, I should say. On television, because you're going to see it from the side angle. You're going to see, Jimmy's Dog Biscuits and all those other ones that are obviously they're going to be corporate sponsors. But you look at that, and that's going to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue.
And we're seeing it in baseball too. I mean, there's advertisements in the outfield bleachers.
Yeah,
the uniforms would be like NASCAR uniforms.
And they're talking about that. Yeah, I mean this is what. There's going to be things that are adopted. Yeah,
you got to make up the money that you're losing. I mean, you said the NFL is losing $5.5 billion if they don't let fans in.
The problem is
doesn't have that pesky player salary.
The problem is with college football, with college athletics, with everything. Right? There's this overcast that it's not a business. I got news for everybody. Absolutely. It's a business. If it's not a nonprofit, and even nonprofits are businesses now.
I even get players say it's just a game or something. I get it.
No. Really. You get paid for this. If it's a game, like if you and I are playing checkers, Dave, and we're not, there's no money on the table. That's a game. Yeah. If we're playing with a 50 spot, it's a business. Like I'm investing $50 into this.
Yeah, and I'm glad Super Dave said that because that's something that's really peeved me off for years. Is when players say, oh, there's more, like it's just a game. No, it's not.
There are
It's
fans
your,
out there that are relying on this business
It's
to
your-
live. It's more than just a game.
it's your job. That's how I feel.
And that's kind of goes back to a couple segments ago when we talked about, guys, listen, if you're going to take the easiest route, like if you're going to put the minimum effort and to get the maximum output, get out, like leave. I'm tired of that. And in the NBA, first it was Corona, then it was social injustice. Just play. Just play. The best way to prove the social injustice is to get paid. Mookie Betts. I don't understand this. I don't know if it's because of where I am in society. You get paid $350 million one day, you kneel about social injustice the next. I don't understand it. I don't understand where the lines are crossed there.
I
Probably
think
in his mind, he's probably kneeling for the people that didn't get paid.
I understand it,
So
but
in his
they've
mind, at least.
they have the opportunity to do it the same as you and I.
Right.
And so, I mean, we've had the same as Mookie Betts. He was just given God's gift. And
I can't believe that he got that contract before he even played more than 2 or 3 games for the Dodgers.
well, it's either the Dodgers traded for him and never get to see him play,
Right.
or they invest almost $1 million a day for a year to see
Definitely
it.
one of the best players in baseball right now. But
He is, and I would take Mookie Betts over a lot of people. Ron said he would take him over Francisco Lindor. I'm not so sure I would make that move.
he's not a shortstop though.
No, he's not. But if I had to pick one of the two, I'm picking Frankie. I really am.
I would.
Just smile.
Yeah,
I pick him more for a smile, less for a smile, and more what he does for a team. He gives them a little bit of extra. Like Frankie's going to get paid. I don't think it's $350 million. But, and it's not that he doesn't deserve it. I think that he is less valued because he was a leadoff hitter, and Mookie Betts is an outfielders get paid. Outfielders among the best because I read it the other day. If a ball gets by an infielder, you're getting one base. If a ball gets by an outfielder, you're getting at least 2. So you look at Mookie Betts, and one of the best baseball players and outfielders in the game right now. Yeah. And you got the other guy who's, to me, I hate to even classify him as a hero because he's a baseball player. He's an athlete. But can you imagine Major League Baseball right now without Mike Trout? And he has every right to step away because he's got a kid coming. And when you look at this, when you look at the NFL, they're all leaving. The New England Patriots, you're not even going to recognize them this year. Then you've got Mike Trout, who's putting a face mask on the field at bat just so he can do it for the fans because he knows he's the face of Major League Baseball. So when you look at that, Major League Baseball owes Mike Trout big time, a big, solid, debt because it just. You look at that, and he could easily
But
have said, "You know what, I'm done."
And also, to what you started saying about Mookie Betts and his stance. And by the way, I think you could be against racism and social injustice and still not kneel for the anthem. Like I think you could do both, but. That's a thing for another day. But I'm not saying anything that Mike Trout has done. He doesn't deserve like big time kudos and praise, but it doesn't hurt DJ when he just signed this huge whopper contract.
He's a big voice, right? He's a big man in the room because he did sign that contract. However,
if you had to pick a face of baseball, it's Mike Trout.
It's Mike Trout.
It is.
It's Mike Trout, and it's unfortunately it's some of the guys. It used to be Jose Altuve until you look at that and you say, okay, well, what bothers me is the degrees of cheating, right?
Gene Springer.
Yeah, it's nuts. So we're going to talk about it. That's actually the next topic, and we got to get to it quick. But the Astros versus Dodgers last night. The Astros ended up losing 5-2. Did you guys see the exchange?
What? No.
So
the guy was thrown out of the Astros, and I think he struck Correa out eventually to end the inning. And he's walking to the dugout, and he tells Correa, sit the bleep down. And he's doing like these, and the bench is cleared, which I think is scary during a pandemic.
Well, you forgot the part. Alex Bregman's up, and they threw. It was 3-0.
He hit him in the head, yeah.
No, he didn't hit him in the head.
Almost hit him in the head. Came up.
He threw behind him, and he missed him. To which Bregman didn't do anything, but there was chirping back and forth. Then he struck out Correa to end the inning. Correa started taking off all his gear and stuff at the plate, and Joe Kelly, the pitcher, started chirping. Started making these faces like my 3-year-olds make, which I was kind of like, what is he? Because listen, Joe Kelly looks like a librarian. Like he should be checking out books, not checking out hitters. So like for someone like Joe Kelly to be doing that, it's pretty brave because Joe Kelly's the same guy that broke his own freaking window in the backyard, if I'm not mistaken. And first off, Carlos Correa would murder him. Like, and that's why they, to take a quote from The Office, that's why they call it murder and not muck duck, because it's not going to be pretty. Joe Kelly throws behind, the chirps happen. Which side of the fence are you guys on? Because I started off like kind of for the Astros, like, okay, they cheated, but like prove everybody wrong. Don't cheat, now go win a championship. And now I'm all on board because of guys like idiot Joe Kelly out there on a 3-0 count. Yeah, okay, let's show your stones a little bit, a-hole. You're throwing behind the guy 3-0. Do it pitch number 1. Right. Like when you've got, toe-to-toe, throw it at him, and then be a man about it. Don't wait till it's 3-0.
Wasted pitch.
Yeah, and then if you're going to send a message, hit him if you're so tough. Because otherwise, go grab me that copy of Harry Potter and shut the hell up. That's what I would say to him. Your thoughts?
I have nothing really against the Astros either. I'm the same way you are. It's getting these other teams are not acting. Yeah, they cheated, but right, go out there and win without cheating and
prove everybody wrong.
I would actually like to see the Astros.
That a boy. That a boy. Super Dave's on my side. Scotty, go ahead.
I am.
I started off. I just thought when this all went down and everything, there was the investigation and all the findings about what the Astros did. I'm like, okay, like one side of me says cheating's been a part of sports for years and baseball's for years, so I can't, like, they just got busted. And then another side of me said, like the buzzers in the jerseys,
which still hasn't been proven.
Still hasn't been proven, but like, there's people that think there was. Like, I'm like, okay, maybe it was a little bit extreme. Like, I get why people are mad. So I get both sides. I personally, just because they, kicked the Indians' ass a couple.
Oh, here we go. It all comes back to the Indians.
Years ago, like, it's hard for me to personally root for the Astros.
Yeah.
I don't hold as much animosity towards them as a lot of other fans. And let me say this, DJ, like, I get maybe wanting to prove a point and hit one guy, but I feel like a thing people aren't talking about as much is if you're an opponent, wouldn't you want to just beat them? So why would you give them more
free
runners
bases
on base?
No, I'm with you.
Like, strike them out. To me, that would be the most gratifying thing, is facing guys like Altuve and Bregman and getting them out.
Yes. Put a bow on it.
That ball behind Bregman was with runners on base too. So not only did he give him a free base, he also, well, it was a walk anyway, but those runners got on second and third.
Yeah.
But then, Joe Kelly wasn't even on the Dodgers when the Astros won the World Series, so he wasn't even a victim of the cheating.
I feel like he's always that guy.
Right?
Like, he's always in that position where he gets to throw at somebody. And I'm like, bro, like, you look like you could be doing I don't know, an infomercial for like how to.
He looks like that
air fryer
doctor that's like, addiction is a.
He should be telling us about the coronavirus, like that. Like, not to be that guy, but like he should be a scientist. He should be in a white coat and telling me what I should and shouldn't do, or how to to get stuff out of my eyes. You know, like what are those?
Set up in the pod.
Bring it back to the light of day. Thank you guys so much. Stay tuned because coming up next is the Power Hour on YSN. So long.
Hey, my Ohio friends, it's Mike Ditka, and I know great talent and heart when I see it. I can tell you from firsthand experience, there are average real estate agents, then there are true champions. Kelly Warren is one of those champions, and you have her right there in your own backyard. Kelly outmarkets and outsells every agent in the Mahoning Valley. If Kelly can't sell your home at a price and deadline you agree to, Kelly will buy it. Get your home sold. Call Kelly Warren today at 717-2689 or go online to kellysoda.com and start packing.
You can feel it. Baird Brothers' traditional craftsmanship. You can see it. Baird Brothers' timeless style. And you can afford it. And find everything at BairdBrothers.com. Baird Brothers Fine